FORA.tv. The world is thinking.
So I want to tell you about an experience I had recently meeting the woman who has more control over free speech in than anyone else in the globe, more than any judge, more than any legislator, and more than any individual in history, arguably. And this is Nicole Wong, the Associate General Counsel at Google, who I had the chance to interview recently for the New York Times Magazine piece about free speech on the net. So Wong is the person who gets phone calls in the middle of the night from the Turkish government demanding the removal of videos that insult Ataturk, which is a crime in Turkey, or the Thai government demanding the removal of YouTube videos that insult the King of Thailand, and she has to decide what to do. So here's what here's how she's struggling with this problem. Initially, when she got a call from Turkey saying take down Ataturk videos posted by soccer fans, Greek soccer fans who said that Ataturk was gay. This is the main thing that soccer fans like to do to each other by putting funny hats on him and so forth. She was in the middle of the night. She doesn't speak Turkish. She had to figure out which of the videos were illegal, eventually identified them, figured out that many of them had already been voluntarily removed by the users, but then the Turkish government is demanding the removal of more videos. Her initial response is, we will take down the videos that are clearly illegal in Turkey, but only block them in Turkey, only for Turkish users. This initially satisfies the Turkish government, which removes an order which had blocked access to YouTube for all Turkish users. But then there's an anti-Ataturk insult campaign recently interestingly by secularists in the government who are trying to resist fundamentalism. And they make a more extreme demand. Last June, they want Google to block access to the offending videos throughout the world to protect the sensibilities of Turks living outside of Turkey. Google, the pro-free speech, the Jeffersonian corporation, refuses, saying one nation's government shouldn't be able to set the limits of free speech for users worldwide. The Turkish government is unmoved, and today it continues to block access to YouTube throughout Turkey. And just last week, in Davos, of all places, the Prime Minister of Turkey walked out of a forum on Gaza, on the Middle East. It was posted on YouTube, and you were not able to get access to that in Turkey because it's blocked in Turkey. Weirdly, the Prime Minister himself had made a separate YouTube video making his own views on the Middle East crisis clear. When pointed out that you couldn't get it in Turkey, he said, well, if you really try, you have ways around blocking. So technologies of control are not perfect, but they're not entirely ineffective in some ways. So what does this tell us? First, it tells us that the main people with the most control over free speech are not the government. In 1919, Eugene V. Debs makes a speech against World War I. The government throws him in jail. It's not the broadcast networks. In the 1960s, one scholar said that there should be a mandatory right of reply to NBC and CBS because private corporations controlled the contours of free speech more than the government did. Now it's Google and Nicole Wong. And you can talk about allowing norms to form all that you like, and you can celebrate the explosion of raucous speech on the web, but you're not going to be able to get access to Google and YouTube in Turkey. And in practice, not having access to Google and YouTube means that your ability to find an audience and to be heard is radically restricted.